Hey, 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 wassa wassa. Welcome back to the weekly open. It's been an insane few weeks, and I hope and wish you all the best. And I hope you're healthy, happy, and you're not too badly affected by what's happened over the last few weeks. Um, Insane, unprecedented events. I've never seen anything like it in the time that I've been in crypto, and I'm sure if you look back over the entire history, it's one of the biggest, most destructive events that has ever occurred. And most importantly, it's now about moving forward. And for us on YouTube, we've got a busy schedule. We're going to smash these markets up 3 times a week. We're getting involved. I have my schedule posted on Twitter. I have a new sponsor. I've moved all my trading over to a new platform, one of the best platforms in the industry. Bybit, huge exchange. I think working with them is an honor. Honestly, wonderful team, wonderful exchange based in Singapore. Proof of reserves, Merkle tree being completed currently. Um, very happy. I love the app. I love the app. Love the platform. So very happy, and they're doing a lot of good things for the community on YouTube and a lot of good things for my community, which is you. So there's some interesting things to come over the next few weeks. Um, and I'm going to incorporate it with Fight Club. And what we'll do is we'll go over that on Wednesday stream. But essentially, um, signing up via me to use Bybit if you're looking for a new exchange, um, that will allow you to be a part of my Fight Club trading community. And we'll go over the details of that in the next stream. But today we're going to talk about Bitcoin. Okay, so we're just going to briefly go over Bitcoin. I might touch on Ethereum, but essentially I wanted to. It's Monday. We need a little Monday weekly open video just to set the tone for the rest of the week. Maybe give us an idea of what we're looking for, what the flow of the week is possibly anticipated to be like, and what can we expect? Okay, and particularly what are there any trades for us that might trigger overnight and tomorrow? So daily, I'm gonna drop to the weekly actually and see what we got. Well, months, I mean the monthly. We're coming up to the end of the month now. We've got 10 days left in the month. Big engulfing candle, taking out the high, smashed all the lows. We're now at yearly lows. Okay, now, you would think on the monthly, that's the beginning after a 4 month period of consolidation, that this was the break and there should be continuation. But we're trading at prices that we haven't seen for 2 years. We're talking about um, November 2020. We really haven't seen these prices for 2 years. So it's been a long time since we revisited 15K, but we're back here now. How are we going to get out of it? Last week, well, the previous week, okay, we had that obviously that capitulation, which was the FTX scandal. But the previous week, we didn't take out the previous week high or the previous weekly low. So we had an inside week. And this week, of course, it's only Monday now, but we have our last week's high and our last week's low. And anybody that's watched my streams over the last few months, or the entirety of this year, to be honest, we have a rule each week, our blueprint. We focus on week to week, previous weekly high and low. Okay, our targets are highs or lows, and then we move on to the next week. And that is just our short-term swing trading or day trading strategy. And currently, we have clean highs to aim at. Okay, and we're closer to the last week's low than we are the high. But we drop this to the daily. Let's bring in a few things. So we've got weekly open, which comes in there. Bybit had a bit of a Jedi candle today with a big spike, which is the first time I've seen that in a long time on any exchange. Normally you see that on a BitMEX sometimes has one of these candles, but we have one on this current weekly candle, this current daily candle. So we have the weekly open. Previous weekly open, okay, previous week, price went flat, stayed within this range. Okay, we'll drop it down in a moment and have a look at it. Yesterday, Sunday, we closed below the previous weekly open. We've retested it, swept the high. Obviously, that's only on Bybit, not other exchanges. Traded lower, haven't taken out the low. Okay, so currently we're below the weekly open, haven't taken out the swing low, and we're closer to it than the high. So if we drop this down to the H2, we can see a little bit price is a little bit clearer on the H2 now. As you can see, last week's high and last week's low. Essentially, this was Monday's range. Okay, so this was Monday's range within here. Price didn't expand out of that range, and it's became last week's range. So we know there's liquidity sitting at these lows and at these highs. Okay. Now, a few things to focus on this chart before we move forward into the trade and any actionable triggers that we're looking for is key SR. Now, we have a key SR, as you can see over here, okay, which is support, breakdown, flip. Okay, so we ended up retesting this level, so it's just a clean flip in there. And if we're going to target anything to the upside, if we build a long position, we're going to need targets um, to aim at, and this would be one of them, okay, which comes in around about 18,000, and that ain't really all that much. You know, you're looking at the move from the high to the low last week, and it comes in about around 50%. 50% correction would be pretty normal. We don't care if the bottom's in, okay? We trade week to week. But in terms of liquidity, we're a lot closer to the bottom than we are the top. So it would make sense for us to aim at liquidity until things change, and we'll go over that in a moment. Now, coming back to the chart, we have a really nice clean level in here, and that is the pink level. Okay, so look at this here. This pink level is such an important level, and it's held price down. So we have support, break above, support, flip the level, resistance, 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 resistance. So it's capped price, but um, every time it's pushed into the level, it's been rejected. Okay, sell off, sell off, sell off. Little bit of a sell off, and then a drop early on today. Okay, now there's been no fourth or fifth retest really, and I feel like the next time we approach that level, it's ours for the taking. Okay, if price can arrive back at that level anytime soon, of course it's broke down at the moment, but if it manages to break back above this mid-range, which is previous week's mid-range, which acted as such a nice level, look at that pivot, great pivot. When price was above, okay, it bounced. Price arrived back. There was no bounce, bouncy ball, low highs into the level, breakdown. Okay, it's a key pivotal level. Is it actionable? Not so much, but it's a nice um, it's a nice level to have marked up because we then know where we are in terms of aiming for previous weekly high or low. And currently, we're obviously below it, increases the probabilities of trading lower. But if we do manage to break above this level in the overnight session or Tuesday or Wednesday, okay, that would increase the probabilities that the low is in, and then we would target last week's high. And I believe the next test of that key SR level is going to be successful. I think it will break it. Now, if we do break it, that is where our bias shifts, okay? Because currently we have a lot of price action below this level. Break the pink, bullish, okay? Start looking at targets 18k, and then you can start looking at gap fills where price had an inefficient move to the downside, 19k. Obviously, we don't want to go too crazy, but really, this is the key level to flip our bias. Okay, we trade above that, excellent. Stay below it. We're only going to trade into key levels and cut trades early unless they are shorts. So that would be what I'm looking for in terms of being long. Now, short, because obviously, look where we are in terms of um, in terms of being below mid-range of the previous weekly range and aiming at the next area of key liquidity. Okay, and that would be last week's low. We had a swing low here, but really, other than today's low and previous weekly low, there's nothing left. Okay, and of course we have yearly low, but there's only three lows left, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a rejection off the weekly open and a dip straight into these clean lows over here, here, and here. How would I get involved with that? Now, most importantly, okay, what to focus on over today's price action is we're not going to get a lot from it, but we've pushed up, and even on the other charts, it's been a little push up, a retest of the weekly open. Okay, clean smash above, and even a candle close above on the H1. We're on the H2 currently, but clean candle close above on the H2, H1 would suggest bottoms in. Okay, shorts are trapped. Now, I'm not sure if that's going to happen, but if it does, then we'll look to aim at pink. Okay. If it doesn't, and we get something like this, if I wake up tomorrow and we have this high, okay, taken out and a breakdown, I will have somewhere to place my stop. I will look for an entry and I'll look to sell this straight into last week's low, yearly low. Okay, I'm not looking for much. I'm not looking for 10K. I'm just looking to hit these lows whilst we're near here because I think there's a lot of over leveraged positions and the price action is sort of suggesting to us it's weak. There's weakness across the market, and there is an unwinding of exchanges, projects, venture capital firms. There's things going on that could push price a little bit lower this week. Um, and I think after having this period of flat price action last week to then lose the level, okay, we now know all we need is to break back above the level. And we break back above, and then I'm fine with longs, longs, longs. Okay. Hope you enjoyed the stream. I'll be back on Wednesday and I'll see you then. Goodbye.